The man with unequaled experience understands that our strength and power lies in being one people, one country, so that we can achieve one future. As one, we can get it done.
Hi guys, welcome to another beautiful time out here on your favorite morning show, Every Woman. That particular show that talks about everything that concerns the woman across all phases of life. My name is Tiana Waldbrasi and I'm super excited as usual to have you join me on today's episode. I do not do this alone. I don't always do this alone. IJ. IJ, introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, good morning, welcome to Every Woman. I mean, look, Tiana is offending today. She's trying to oppress me.
I'm sorry. How you doing, IJ?
I'm good.
I hope you slept well.
Yes.
All right, so guys, today we'll be talking about something very, very interesting. Something that a lot of people do not take into cognizance. People just walk past it like you just feel it's not an issue, but it's actually an issue. And I believe it's more like what we're having a proper build-up from last week. And I'm actually enjoying the series, how it's going. So today we're talking about self-confidence. And we're going to talk about it in a layman's English so that even the person on the street can understand that self-confidence is how you value yourself. For me, self-confidence is just self-worth. How you see yourself, the value you place on yourself, right? And a lot of people have fall short of this particular thing, self-confidence, self-esteem.
I mean, you've said everything already. There's this popular saying that people will see you the way that you see yourself. So if you think you're amazing, people will think you're amazing. If you think that you don't matter, then people will just walk all over you because that's where you've placed yourself. And it's really important that we're discussing it. Like you said, it's like a build-up, everything we've talked about, because it starts with believing in yourself.
Yeah.
If you believe in yourself enough, then you have enough to pass on to the next generation, the people that are coming on after you. We need to have a positive view of ourselves, a positive image of ourselves, and that's what we teach the people that are coming after us, to believe in themselves, and that's really how we make a better Nigeria. So
you know, a lot of people mix up self-esteem and self-confidence. I think I just did it now. We're supposed to be talking about self-esteem.
Yeah.
I had to mix it up with self-confidence because
they're intertwined. They kind of interrelate.
But they have a few disparity. Like there's a thin line.
Yeah, it's a very thin line.
There's a thin line between self-confidence and self-esteem. Like I was supposed to have said, self-esteem is how you value yourself and how much worth you place on yourself. And it's a bit different from self-confidence. IJ, you like to say something about that before we...
I mean, it is what it is. Self-esteem is self-esteem. Self-confidence is self-confidence. So I'm very excited. We have a guest in the house.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention that. So we're not just going to spill everything and say it, but I think we should just pinpoint some of these differences so people don't mix it up, right? If we're talking about self-esteem and self-confidence, we have to separate it. Right? Like we say, self-esteem is the sense of self, how you feel, how you value yourself, right? While self-confidence is the fact in your own abilities.
Yeah, they are two different things. Self-esteem is how you see it, and self-confidence is what you've built. It's something that you gain over the years. And I think a lot of self-confidence, if you're building this confidence in yourself, it's gradual and it keeps building. It translates somehow at the end of the day into a general positive self-esteem.
So another one is... self-esteem is the inner value you place in yourself, and self-confidence is the trust you have in yourself. That's supposed to look like they're the same thing. I mean, but that's what people are going to say, like, okay, they're the same thing. Inner value of myself and how I trust myself. I mean, it's the same thing. I still have self-confidence. I still have
some people cannot do anything, but they come out, and the way they come out, you know that these people have that's the way they see themselves. They feel like they are everything, like the world everybody should just bow down to me. And these people cannot do nothing. They can't do jack. But they have that self-esteem, and it shows, and people begin to treat them that way because that's what they've come to to emit. That's the kind of energy they give out. But with other people, you see this reliance on yourself that you continue to build. You're building capacity. You pass this milestone today, tomorrow you're gaining another milestone, it's another milestone, and you're moving, and you slowly begin to see for yourself that, oh, I can do this, I can do this,
that,
I'm
yeah,
this,
yeah.
I'm this, and that's self-confidence. It's a whole, it's a different thing. Some parents, I think I'm saying too much because we are going to get to it, but parents actually help children to even have self-esteem. So that's different from self-confidence, really.
Oh, I think that brings us to the next one, which is self-esteem is all about emotional appraisal of yourself, while the self-confidence is the outward appraisal of yourself. So your self-esteem has to do more of your emotions. Like, I know I feel I can do this, but I don't think I can do this.
Sometimes you know, have you ever felt that way, that you're something, you know that you can do this, you see in yourself that you can do this, but everybody else doesn't seem to feel the same way. Now, in that situation, it's the self-esteem is kind of low, because you don't feel like everybody's getting this or seeing the same picture that you're seeing. So in that sense, you have that confidence in yourself that, oh, I can actually do this, but people are not seeing that I can do this. So that's you with a very high self-confidence and low self-esteem. So there are two different things, really. I think we mix them up a lot too.
Yeah, so this is where we have to put it out there that if you're developing your self-esteem, you actually have to develop self-confidence. So it's not just...
It's the first, that's the first step.
It's not just you working on yourself inside without bringing it out there. Like, okay, I've worked on myself, I can do this, I'm not going to put myself down anymore, my emotional appraisal is up there, and then you get to the stage. I've seen kids who have that we call it stage fright, but it still boils down to self-esteem and self-confidence.
I used to have stage fright.
Oh wow! And I just in front of the camera.
Oh my god! I used to have stage. I think like it's a journey. Like, this is an issue that is very close to me because I can relate. I understand. Growing up, I was that black girl. I swear that was what people used to refer to, and it kind of stuck. And I grew up feeling like being black was bad. That's how I felt, like it was a sin to be black, and there's bleaching cream everywhere. At this point in my life, I don't care. I'm happy. You were able to walk through it. It's a gradual build-up. You have to come to understand that you're enough. I mean, this is still Chimamanda's words. You are enough. You don't need anybody to tell you how to be. So the stage fright thing, it happens. It's not like I don't know what to say or know what to do. And then I go up there and immediately you see the crowd and everybody, you just go numb. You can't remember anything you want to say. Even if you remember, you're just mumbling. You're running over yourself, saying random things. You don't know. You're being incoherent. And it took a friend to actually pull me out of that zone that I was in. I mean, and you just build a cave for yourself, and you were comfortable in your own space. Did you get? You didn't even want to try or push further. I'm happy you were able to walk through it. I mean, in bubble now, I would have had a co-host. Bishop, I can't come in front of the camera, but it was good you were able to walk out of it, right? And let's go for that. I know we'll have a guest who is actually going to talk a lot about this topic, but let's go for that to look at some of these elements of self-esteem, right? And one of it that is very, very, that I'm big on is sense of competitiveness, because that is what is everywhere. I mean, if you look through social media, everybody trying to outshine everybody. Do you understand? I want to be here. Oh, okay, so my friend bought a car yesterday. I have to buy a better brand. Oh, so my friend visited this restaurant yesterday. My goodness, what am I waiting for? People are not even happy for their friends anymore. Like, if your friend is buying it, I should be happy. I should be celebrating you. I should be like, oh wow, I don't have a car yet, but you have. I mean, free rides for me. I should be happy for you, celebrate you, and when it happens for me, I'm good. But is this spirit of competitiveness, like everybody wants to, oh, how old is she? How old am I? Oh God, my life has finished. God, I beg. God, I beg. Do you understand? All my mates are getting married. Every time those phrases, God, I beg, God, when I use, it's in the wrong context. It's in the very, 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 very wrong context. And I mean, when we're growing up, we had a lot of this sense of competitiveness. We had this comparison. Your parents to tell you, oh, why are you doing this? Can't you see your mates? That's where it starts from, right? They say charity begins at home. Can't you see your mates? Your friends are doing this. Your mates are doing this. You're turning 30, or your mates are 30 are married. Really, it starts from the house, and it's little things you throw, like you said, little drop of water makes an ocean. The little what you keep throwing into the hearts of people. People are different. We have different personalities, right? A lot of people will just shove it off and no, but I see this is a misconception. Nobody really ever shakes it off, even the hardest person. In a time where you're down, that you're withdrawn, you sit back, and somehow there's a way our minds work. you start reflecting on these things.
Everything.
If somebody now says something remotely close to what somebody else has said, you kind of
just
dredges
comes
up
back.
everything that has been said already, and you start reflecting, oh, was this thing right? There's nobody that just checks it off. There's all of them crying in their closets. Everybody cries in their closet.
So this second one is related to the first one we'll talk about, the sense of belonging. Like what you said, you were referred to as the black girl or that black girl, right? And this is where racism comes in. They don't like me because I'm dark, because of my skin color. I don't want to be friends with her because she cries a lot, or she doesn't know anything. I don't want to be friends with her. Oh,
no, there's always a clique now. There's always a clique of big girls, and you want to belong to those people, because if you're not there, you know, it's something missing. Why can't I be there? What's wrong with me?
Nobody feels like, oh, she doesn't know what's in town. She doesn't know the in thing in town, right? And that affects your,
how you grow.
Yes, it affects your self-esteem to a large extent. Like, as the days or years goes by, you just feel like, okay, I can't belong to a certain class of people, right? I can't do certain things because I can't belong to that class.
Like, you have no idea. Again, I'm going to use myself as an example. You have no idea how much this affects people. Now, in those early years, I mean, I had this I think when I was getting to secondary school, that's when this really started, because my primary school was bliss. It was just pure bliss. But I know that when I started feeling this way, and I started withdrawing, I started looking for places to hide, it affected my education. I knew it, I saw it, because you're you already have that low self-esteem. People already see you as this person. People already see you, oh, that boy that does not always have something useful to say. You don't even want to make an attempt to ask a question. Sometimes you know the answer, you don't even want to stand up and answer. So you're not laughed at, yes. Because you're just like, I would rather you don't even see me. So because this person has a low self-esteem, it translates to every facet of your life. You cannot get up and perform well in your education. And I'm saying this person that I was not doing well. For JS1 to JS3, I was a failure. I was not doing anything. I was like, you know, the classic it's boring. I was not if there are 20 people in class, maybe I wouldn't be getting 21 self. I would have been the 21st person out of the 20 if it was possible. Like, it was that bad. I just felt like I wasn't even supposed to be there. Yeah. And
so you had a lot of environmental factors, but I mean, you were able to walk through it, right? And that's why we're going to talk about how you see yourself, identity, how you see yourself. But at the end of the day, when you find yourself in that space where you're not wanted, or you yourself, that's why we say self-esteem has to do with the emotions, right? And most times, a lot of people just conclude.
Yeah, they don't even know you.
Yes, you just conclude. You just assume. And like they say, assumption is the lowest form of intelligence. You just assume, okay, they don't like me. Right? Yes, because I've seen a lot of conclusion and assumption, like, okay, I don't think I can be there. You haven't even tried it. You haven't even seen yourself that, okay, you can get there. Right? So it boils down to how you see yourself, your identity. Do I see myself like, I mean, do they have two hearts? Who are they?
Who are you to tell me how I should be? Who are you to tell me that I'm not relevant? Like, did you come to this life before me? I don't understand. Were you in another life? We're all in this life together. Everybody's running their own race. They're facing their own hustle. You have to understand that nobody has a right to dictate to you who you are. Nobody has that right, unless you give them the power to. So unless I give you the power to tell me, oh, I'm this, oh, I'm minority, you can't tell me that I'm minority. You can't tell me.
But you know, some people just give people that power to say that because of how you see yourself. It starts with you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's the way that you address yourself that people will address you, really. So it starts with you. Everything, it starts and ends with you. So if you feel like people don't like you, you probably don't like yourself.
All right, guys, so we're going to go on a very quick break. When we're right back, we will be unveiling our guests to you. Don't go nowhere. Stay with us.
They pay people pension. He's with the youth. He know they seek attention. Carry us along and show us the direction. We need a leader that can manage the economy, so that Nigeria itself will begin to make more money. This na person will go give us peace and harmony. Get your PVC. This one will be small warning. Him fit stop all the shooting. Kakakaka boyaka. Our youth need jobs. They need money to do data. I'm feeling you, Magneto. This na true matter. Now who they talk about? Atiku Abubakar.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Flight 2023 Atiku Okowa 2023. I have my co-pilot here with me, Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, keeping track on all navigation systems. Our destination is a united Nigeria. Right now, we're cruising at 2022 feet above sea level. Before we arrive at our destination, let me give you a brief update on what to expect at our destination. Number 1, the temperature is going to be hot on security issues. 2, the people are going to be better educated, and the educational system and healthcare will be accessible to every citizen. 3, the economy is going to be thriving and booming. And of course, there'll be true federalism. This and many more to be expected for a united and prosperous Nigeria. So sit back and relax, and before you know it, if we all join hands together, we shall arrive at the new united Nigeria we all dream of soon enough. My name is Atiku Abubakar. As one, we can get it done.
You know, here most of the differences is either north-south or Muslim-Christian. These are the divisions. These divisions are deep. You see, even in the smallest family unit, you need unity to have stability, peace and progress of that family. Now, translate that into a bigger and more complex country like Nigeria. And therefore, unity is number 1.
Atiku knows about diversity. His inner circle reflects the face of Nigeria.
And when you see the crowd around him, the mixture is amazing. There's hardly any ethnic group that's not present around him.
And for you to be admired by the various segments of the citizens of this country, the secret that he has to touch.
The type of leader that Nigeria needs is somebody who will unite the people together. I believe strongly that Atiku Abubakar is that type of leader. So he has so many friends everywhere, among the Christians, among the Muslims, and also outside Nigeria.
People find it safe to rely on him, to rely on what he's saying and what he's doing.
Ability to chart the course and steer the ship.
He understands the problem of this country. He understands the heartbeat of Nigerians.
So I see hope in his leadership.
This man can be trusted. I have no hesitation at all in endorsing him as candidate for president for Nigeria in 2000.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Every Woman on AtikuLive, and we were having an amazing time here talking about self-esteem, self-confidence, and all of it. Like I told you before I went on a break, we're gonna be having a guest, and we're so excited to have our guest with us here. Her name is Njoya Njama. She's a legal practitioner, career coach, and a trainer, and we're excited to have you here, man.
Hello, ladies. Oh,
Hi.
thank you for. Oh God, I just felt the confidence. My God.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine.
Okay, so today we're talking about self-esteem. We've been able to talk about it, like we know.
Yeah.
But would like you to throw more light on that self-esteem.
I must say you guys have done justice to the topic already. I was sitting down there and I was like, why did you guys have me? Anyways, I almost left. But anyways, I think the conversation around self-confidence and self-esteem is fundamental even now, especially because women are now finding their place in society. And not just women exactly, men and everybody. They're trying to find their voice in this chaos called life. And so to help us really articulate that, we must begin to talk about self-esteem and self-confidence rightly. And before I even go on, you guys did amazing work. So distinguishing it, bringing out some fundamental elements to really help us understand it. Great job. And all I would say is, all I would do now is to add to what we already said. Maybe I should start by distinguishing it.
Yes.
So for me, the best way to distinguish between self-confidence and self-esteem is to look at it as two sides of the same coin, right? So most of us want to look at it that, oh, one is separate and the other one is independent. No, they are together, they work together. And most of the time, that's why we have this misconception around it. So self-esteem really has to do with the value you place on yourself, period. What is the value that you place on yourself? And the truth about self-esteem is that nobody can help you do that. Not your parents, not your teachers, nobody. And unfortunately, you look at these external values or external factors to help you build your self-esteem. And that's why you see some children, pardon me to mention, someone was doing an analysis of graduates from private universities and graduates from public universities. Their approach to life and to things differ. And the person was saying, what's the difference? And we concluded that it is the way that they treated them in their private school. They made them feel like you are a part of something amazing. And so when they come out of it, everybody's like, of course, they don't dress anyhow, they don't speak anyhow, they don't get involved in all those kind of things. But the other of us that went to public schools, it doesn't mean we're not good. It only means that we have to do the work to bring ourselves up to speed, whereas other people just had it, they give them away. So self-esteem is how you feel about yourself. What is your sense of self? What level of awareness do you have about yourself? While self-confidence really is about how you believe in your abilities. Now maybe I should just say this before we go to the next level. While self-confidence would change from time to time, there are certain things that you're good at. Tiana, you sit down here and you're like, amazing. If I take you to the courtroom now and ask you to defend the case, you're probably going to drop. Exactly. Your confidence would drop because you don't have abilities in those areas. So while self-confidence would change from time to time, your self-esteem must remain intact all the time.
Wow, wow. Amazing. So this is where it brings us to the different types. I think we have two major types of
self-esteem.
Yes.
I think three. The low self-esteem, the high self-esteem, and then there's the inflated self-esteem as well. Yeah, I think I just believe that there are two types of self-esteem. Anything that is beyond that is no longer esteem, really. It's a problem that you have. I need to go and figure it out. Just like low self-esteem is a problem. So high self-esteem is the balance point. That's where we want everybody to operate from. That's where you would get the most out of yourself. That's where you will reach the pinnacle of whatever it is that you feel that you have been brought to this world to dish out. So self-esteem is high. It means you are confident about yourself. You have a high sense of value about yourself. So it doesn't matter whether or not you achieve a goal immediately or it takes you longer time to achieve that goal. You believe in yourself and it doesn't change how you approach life eventually. But a low self-esteem means, well, it's just bad. You just, everything and anything gets to you. Everything and anything shapes how you move on to the next level. And whenever I have the opportunity to interact and train people, the one question that keeps coming up is, how do I overcome fear? Right? So if you have a low self-esteem, fear will be your partner. Because every other time you don't succeed immediately, it means that you will retract and you'll be unable to move on to the next level. So we want everybody, at least not everybody, but 99.999% of the people to operate from a place of high self-esteem, to put value on yourself and not wait for the next person to be the one to do that for you.
Okay, so while we were talking, you were talking about you made mention of the low self-esteem and how every other thing around you can affect you when you're at that level, right? But how do we get to identify these factors, this low self-esteem? Because a lot of people will tell you, I don't have a low self-esteem, I'm fine. Right, but you can actually see this glaring that, okay, this person has a problem somewhere. So how do we identify this?
When someone has a low self-esteem, so when somebody has a low self-esteem, it's really not difficult to see. The first place I always look at when somebody is having a conversation with me, or when I'm trying to determine whether there's an issue here, is to figure out how you feel about yourself. So if I ask you a question, how do you respond to me? Are you a positive thinking person, or you're a negative person? So if you are a negative person, the likelihood that you have low self-esteem is really high. That's the first place I will look at. The second place I want to look at is, how do you treat other people? Many of us feel that people treat other people because they are just wicked or because they are whatever. No, the way you treat the next person is a reflection of how you feel about yourself. So when somebody comes to you and tells you, oh, you're 30 and you're not married and all that, and they're trying to drag you down, it means there's something about them that is not working in the right way, and they are unable to accept that reality and walk through it. So that's another way of identifying low self-esteem. So they project their own insecurities on you. Thank you. So another way to see somebody that has low self is somebody that is always shy of anything. I was listening to her when she said she was being called the black girl.
girl, I was being called the fat girl for the longest time. And it was so bad that I had to go to God in prayer.
Wow.
I think I was about 10 or so. I grew up really fast, and it wasn't all that good because I was in the forefront of things. I was always an outspoken child. I was all that, but at some age, I never wanted to go to the market. My mom sent me to the market. I would cry and throw a tantrum and bring hail. And my parents were afraid that what's really going on with her. My mom would say she would never believe that I'll be the most outspoken child that she has today. But I've always been like that. But at some point, I was fat, literally. Well, now I don't see it as fat. I was just a child that is
Healthy.
Healthy, chubby, fine. So at that point, I had to go to God in prayer. I said, Lord, did I do something wrong? Anywho, these are part of the signs that you see. You shy away from, interacting with people or engaging with people. You shy away from speaking out your opinion. Have you seen somebody that is not assertive?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a sign of low self-esteem. Because if you have self-esteem, that means you place value on yourself. You wouldn't really care so much about how other people would take you. You care so much about the value that you're putting on the table. So when you see someone that's not assertive, it could be a sign of low self-esteem. Another way is when you joke too much about yourself. There are people that I always find it difficult to relate with people when we're talking about something serious and you're like, no worry, I beg, no problem. No, you can. Yeah, this is serious. Let's be serious and discuss it. So if you joke about those kind of things when you shouldn't be, that's a sign that maybe you don't put so much value on yourself, and that's why you don't want us to take you seriously. And then there are people that just tell you, say, nah, it's nothing serious. It's not a big deal. I mean, why? That's other signs of low self. There are 1,001
the
of
ones
those.
that get overly sensitive over issues concerning them. Like
that's a sign of low. That's why I said there are a lot of things. But the major factor that will help you identify it is to see how they place value on themselves. You won't see somebody that has value on themselves and just do anyhow or treat themselves as trash. If you see somebody in a terrible relationship, in a toxic relationship, and they still remain in the relationship, that's a sign of low self-esteem. There's lots of them.
Okay, but what are these factors? I mean, we've said that self-esteem is the value that you place on yourself. What are the factors that affect these values that you place on yourself?
The factors that affect, you guys have mentioned one, childhood, upbringing. How do you bring up your child? What do you say to your child? Let me give you a life example. I hope my mother doesn't watch this. So growing up, my mom has the best set of teeth in the world. Beautiful. So growing up, she always used to, I don't know the right word to say, but she was always attacking my teeth. She'd be like, what kind of teeth is this? So I grew up never really thinking I had a good dentition. I never believed it until I was a teenager and some guy said, oh, nice teeth. Like,
are you mocking me?
But now, looking back, I'm like, why did I ever believe her? Because but now I understood what she was trying to do. A lot of parents, especially African parents, they don't want it to get into your head. So they want you to stay grounded. So they throw all these jabs at you from time to time to make you feel like you're not all that. So calm down and do the needful.
Is it healthy?
It is not healthy. There's a better way of doing it. You don't have to make your child feel pumped up before you make him feel like, okay, you should be grounded. No, there are better ways of doing it. That's why upbringing is fundamental. How do you speak to your child? How do you correct your child? What do you say to your child? When your child tells you something, how do you address it? Most of our parents don't have that patience. Go and read your book. Go to church.
There's no
go to the market. There's no relationship. But right now, I'm glad that we're having this kind of conversation. So parents like you and I can afford to treat our children better. So upbringing is one aspect of it. Another part that affects self-esteem is your age. Recall when you were saying, oh, when you were younger, you believe this and now. So as you age and you do the work, it's important to do the work. As you age and you do the work, you begin to understand that certain things are not even important. I remember when I was in the university, I used to have a collection of bags. One bag for each day. Like, know me, why? And as a law student, it was a big deal, and all we were allowed to wear was white and black. So there was really no fashion. White and black with black shoe. That was it. No more, no less. So I had to do something like collection of bags. Now, I take one bag for 1 month. If you don't like it, you'll be fine, right? So age helps us to understand what is really valuable and what is important. You guys also mentioned social media. Let's not even get started with that. Social media affects how we see ourselves. Unfortunately, information is now everywhere. What somebody is doing far away in America is at your fingertips. So you are exposed to this level of information all the time, whether you need it or you don't need it. So that affects how you feel about yourself. Another thing that affects how you feel about yourself is illnesses or diseases. Some people have gone through, you know, some level of illness or disease that has changed their life, and it becomes a little bit difficult to see themselves in that higher self at all. So these are some of the things that affect your self-esteem.
Okay, so before we go further, while you were talking about the low self-esteem and how people throw their insecurities on other people, so is it safe to say that low self-esteem is the same thing as complexity, has something to do with inferiority complex?
Of course. For you to have low self-esteem, it means that
you already feel inferior.
You already feel inferior about yourself. So inferiority complex is just a fancy way of saying low self-esteem. And I think that what we should look out for when it comes to low self-esteem is how you project yourself. How you and people don't know these things. When somebody comes to you and they're looking all fine and all made up and everything and they're all that, and then they sit down with you and everything that comes out of their mouth is negative and trashes the next person. Have you ever been in a girls' hangout or boys' hangout and all they want to discuss is how the other person is terrible? That's a sign that something could be wrong with you in the long run.
I think the important thing we need to even look at is really how to, because a lot of people go through this. Like I said, I went through this, and to be honest, it was a little boy, like it was a 6-year-old boy, I think, that made me feel like, okay, I'm not what everybody has been saying all along. A 6-year-old boy that looked at me like, you're beautiful, and that was the first time
anyone
had ever of a child
that
was able to see myself. And this is an unbiased child. So for millions of Nigerian women, for millions of Nigerian men that are out there that still have the same issue, what are the things that they should be doing? Because like you said, you have to put in the work, but some people don't know where to start from.
Well, the first place I would always recommend that you start when you want to develop yourself or grow in any area is to look inward. And now the problem with looking inward is that it's hard. There are things that you don't want to see, things that you have buried for ages past. You know, that thing that boy said to you when you were in primary 2, everything is in there. So looking inward is hard, and it takes a lot of discipline to look inward. But once you do look inward, you can now make an assessment. And that's the first place to start. Make an assessment of yourself. What do you really feel? What is the value that you actually have? And it's not all going to be rosy, and that's fine. There are things that you then need to work on. But if you don't take a look inward, you wouldn't know what you already have going for you and what you need to grow or what you need to improve on. So take a look at yourself. First things first. And looking at yourself doesn't mean you go and stand in front of the mirror. And looking, no, that's not what I mean. I mean taking out time, separating yourself from time to time to do a self-assessment. Okay, what is going on with me? How am I feeling today? How do I feel about this dream of mine? How do I feel about my impact in the world? How do I feel about my family? How do I feel about my friends? You know, somebody said that a lot of times when we envy our friends, we just pray to God forgive me or banish the devil and stuff. But that's not envy in itself. It's showing you something about the next person that you actually want or you desire. So when you banish it, it means you've not addressed the issue. So when it pops up, you look at it, okay, oh, I like Tiana's Fendi dress, you know. I mean, just, okay. Am I jealous? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we are all. So now I've identified that. So I'm not really jealous of Tiana as a person. I'm just like, oh, I wish I could have her dress. So you can now address it. When I go to the market next time, I'm looking for Tiana's Fendi dress. I know exactly what I want. So take a look inward and find out what do I have.
What is it about that person too?
What is it about that thing that is making me uncomfortable? Is it how I speak? Is it how I articulate? What is it about that thing inside of me that's making me feel unheard or unseen? Second way for you to work through your self-esteem is to become assertive. Yeah, being assertive is hard because in this part of the world, everybody wants you to do something for them every single time. If your friend is not calling you, your parents are calling you, somebody is somewhere waiting for you to collect your salary and send it to them. It's just like that. But then you need to begin to be assertive about the things that you want. Because when you start being assertive about what you want, it means that you're placing value on yourself.
Yeah.
So if I come here and I say, Tiana, I don't want to be on the show again, and I pack my bag and I leave, it will hurt Tiana, definitely, but I will feel some level of excitement inside of me, like I stood up for myself. And that's how to build self-esteem. Another way to build self-esteem is to practice confidence. Yeah, practicing confidence. Like, confidence is the external way of exhibiting your self-esteem. That's why I said they are one and the same thing. So when you feel good about yourself, it is difficult for you to hide it. When somebody interacts with you, they can almost feel your inside, like, oh, this girl is amazing. I enjoyed this girl. So practice confidence. And how can you practice confidence? By practicing. Go to places that make you feel uncomfortable. Literally, just go there and just do something.
I know, right?
Just do something. It's like, I consider myself a good dancer, but I'm not a professional dancer, yeah? But I would never go to a place where people are dancing and then I'll sit down. Never. I would dance the one I can dance, if you like. So practice confidence. Another way for you to really, really, really change your self-esteem and improve it is to change your mindset. Change how you feel about yourself. Change your mindset. And the funny thing about mindset that I love so much is that the brain, as powerful as the brain is, the brain can be tricked.
Yeah.
It's conflicting. As powerful as this brain is, it can be tricked. So why not trick the brain? So when I had this conversation around fake it until you make it. And some people were like, no, be your real self. No. Why do you have to be your real? Fake it until, if your brain has refused to be confident, pretend that you're confident until it actually ignites in the brain. Last, this guy is confident too. And the brain will come along with you. So changing your mindset starts from one step at a time. Don't go for the huge things that, you want to buy a car, for example. I know you have is 2.5. 2.5.
More than 2.5.
That can work. Yeah. But then there's certain things that you can do with 2.5 that will really make you feel good about yourself. So start there. Start small with the little things that you can change. Most of us want to figure out big goals and huge goals and, incredible things. But we forget the little things. I will always say that focus on your goal, right? But don't forget the little things. Because it's these little things, everyday action, that will take you, exactly. So if you figure out all the big things, I want to travel to America, I want to be the United States president, I want to be the president of Nigeria, I want to be all that, and then you don't even like politics.
You don't even know your local government.
Exactly. So start from somewhere. Start with what you have. Denzel Washington said something amazing. He said, we're not asking you to give everything. Give what you have. Start from where you are and start with what you have. So these are my few tips of how to build confidence. And maybe lastly, talk to someone. I'm really excited that in this age and time, we have opportunities to really engage professionally with different people. So we have coaches, we have mentors, we have counselors, and we now have parents who are now really astute to the fact that things are changing. So talk to someone. It doesn't matter who. The problem would then be you figuring out who to talk to. So as a young person, anywhere in the world, and you're having these challenges, talk to someone. It doesn't have to be face-to-face. There's social media, there is all kinds of media that you can engage with. And funny enough, we now have information everywhere. So look for those information necessary for your growth. Don't just sit down and be TikToking and be dancing. And I like dancing, I like talking, I like all that. But then make them work for you. Make those avenues work for you. So engage with people. And lastly, I must say, create a network of people of like minds.
Wow. Yeah.
Don't find yourself with people that hate you and then you are trying to build self-confidence. It's not going to work. Build a network of people that you find similarities either in your life or in your prospect, your abilities or your impact. Just find people that are like you and grow from there.
Amazing.
But how do we encourage more people to come out? I mean, because what we've been taught all along growing up, the people you talk to should be your parents, your siblings, and most times these people don't understand
how you feel.
How you feel or what you want to share. I know we have life coaches and all that are actually there to support, but let's face it, the reality on ground is that in Nigeria we see these people as scam or gaga and mentor yourself. How do we get people to be more open? Someone was saying that, why is it easy for me to tell you to take your money
and buy TV, for example, and it's easier, and then for me to tell you, take your money and buy an online course, maybe 99% less the price that you pay for your TV, and it becomes a question. That really tells you where our minds and our goals really is. As much as we talk about self-confidence, it doesn't mean everybody wants to be self-confident. It doesn't mean that everybody wants to build their self-esteem. They are fine the way they are. And those people don't need help, right? There's no need helping somebody who has said, you know what, leave me the way I am. So this conversation is more about people who have identified an issue and who are willing to do the work. And those people, they are not going to question a life coach or a career coach when they are offering their services. Think about it. If you come here and somebody says, Tiana, I have a communication skill expert, high professional, something, you put the grammar together program that's going to help you become the first or the best anchor on TV in the world, would you take it? Why?
Because we want to become the best.
Exactly. So for people that don't desire this change, there's no need to sell it to them. But for everybody else who is desirous of becoming a better human being, and like I would say, when we're talking about this self-esteem, a lot of people will just think it's about relationship. No, it isn't. It's about your entire life. Because everywhere you go, you will represent yourself. You will show up as yourself. And self-esteem will help you show up authentically as yourself, whether in the workplace, in your community, in your church, wherever you show up, you can show up as yourself. So imagine somebody who has high self-esteem. The likelihood that they are going to get promoted in the office is very high. Than somebody that has low self-esteem, you will not be invited to board meetings because they know when you come, you'll be shaking. Anywho, my point is, there are services out there, there are opportunities out there for growth and progress. It depends on whether you want this opportunity or, better still, whether this is where you want to grow towards.
Wow, we can go on and on and on about this, but we're just going to go on a very quick break. When we're right back, we'll pick it from where we start.
The importance of one Nigeria cannot be overemphasized. Atiku Abubakar, the unifier, the man with unequaled experience, understands that our strength and power lies in being one people, one country, so that we can achieve one future. As one, we can get it done.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Every Human. We've been having an amazing time here with Barrister Njwara Njama, an amazing life coach. I mean, I've learned a lot. I don't know about you,
I have so many questions. I don't know if we have enough time to cover all of this.
I hope I can answer them.
Yeah, of course. You've been doing great.
Yes, you've been doing amazing. But we're going to go straight to taking calls. Our phone lines are open.
Yeah.
Please do well to call us in if you are watching us right now, and also do well to send your tweets because we will be reading them out. But before that happens, let's hear one more time from our guest before she goes, because really I think we can't really exhaust.
Oh, I actually wanted to find out, how does having a community of people that have a more positive image of themselves, how does that translate to a better Nigeria? Because at the end of the day, that's what we all want.
Yeah.
So I always believe that whatever is produced outward must have been conquered inward, right? So if you are looking to better in Nigeria and you have a bunch of people that don't even believe in themselves, it means they will not be ready or willing to do the work to better Nigeria. So here, this is how it works. For example, let's take the election that's forthcoming, for example. And all of us are on social media, we are shouting, we want good leadership, we want this, we want that, but none of us have our PVCs. That means you're not ready to do the work. You just want to, make us feel like you're a part of, exactly. So belonging to a community or grooming a community of people that are aware of themselves, because once you become aware of yourself, it means you are also aware of your needs. You're also aware of the things that you need to improve. You're also aware of the things that you don't even want at all. So building more aware citizens really means that building more citizens that are patriotic and responsive. So if you're a patriotic citizen, it means that you know your role in the scheme of things and you know exactly what you should be doing to make us or project Nigeria in the light that we want to project Nigeria. So if you have self-esteem, you know that you just don't want a leader that will talk down on you. You don't want a leader that would keep us, I'm not going to say that. You don't want a leader that will not understand our needs and our plight, because you know what your needs and your plight is. So you can then begin to demand more from the style of leadership and be a responsive citizen.
Yeah. Ajay, do we have some tweets so we can
yes,
quickly,
we have some tweets.
We can quickly read through it because if we go hard, if we go hard, I guess we just keep dishing out more. We're really having so much fun here. Ajay.
John is saying that, ladies, a powerful way to teach your kids love is to love and respect their dad. Men, a powerful way to show your kids love is to love and respect their mom. The self-esteem of your child is greatly affected by how you treat your partner.
That's true. That's true. Like we've already said, a lot of us project our insecurities on other people. So lately, people have been saying that it is better to be with somebody that makes you happy. Be somebody that, totories your head and stuff like that. But the truth is that nobody can make you happy.
Only you can
right?
do that.
So you thinking you want to be with somebody because they should make you happy. It's conflicting. You need to make yourself happy and be with somebody that sustains that happiness. So the work really falls back on you. Be the person that makes yourself happy, and then find somebody who enjoys that level of happiness that you have, and you grow from there. So in partnership and in relationship, many of us put the work on the other people. We have anger issues. We just tell our partner, that's how I am.
Yeah.
You have insecurity issues. Say, no, this is how I've been all my life. Really? And why do you think that is valuable for you to put on another person? So value yourself, also value your partner. If you put value on yourself, the likelihood that you would devalue your partner is almost non-existent.
So let's take one more tweet, IJ, quickly before
I think we've run out of time.
We run out of time. All right, guys. So it's been an amazing time here on the show, every woman. I've had so much fun. I'd like to say a very big thank you to our guests.
Much. The pleasure is mine.
Thank you for coming. I hope you've learned a lot. Please know that our social media handles are displayed right now on the screen. Send us your questions. I'm sure our guests will be excited to answer. Send us your suggestions and your tweets, recommendations, anything. Just send to us. Let's know what you think. I will be so excited to receive them. Until we meet next time, same time tomorrow. My name is Tiana. Be yourself.
My name is Ijoma, and I'm saying, if you're black, be happy.
All right, see you tomorrow. Same time.
Bye.